All right. What is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video. We have to talk about NVIDIA, okay? And this is going to be an amazing video on NVIDIA. So please be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're going to go into a deep fundamental analysis, take a look at a fundamental standpoint that a lot of people may be missing. And then we are also going to go over some really powerful technical analysis charts that are going to blow a lot of people's minds. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump straight into it. All right, the bull case is much more powerful than you may think. Financial media outlets and investors keep parroting about the moat NVIDIA has built around its AI chip through the CUDA software, but actually, NVIDIA's moat extends way beyond that. While competitors are trying to build competing AI chips and accompanying software packages, NVIDIA CEO is focusing on the grander opportunity, which is data center as a product. And NVIDIA is benefiting from multiple network effects simultaneously across its suite of data center solutions. All right, so we're going to dive into that a little bit more, explain what that really is. All right, as always, the content provided on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. So be sure to read through the full disclaimer. Okay. Now there is some crazy data. Okay. When it goes to the technical analysis, if you look, we are at the peak of the RSI on the NVIDIA weekly chart, right? So if you take a look right here, here's the peak for NVIDIA's weekly RSI. All right. It's up at an amazing 88.5. And look at where we're finding resistance right now. Okay. We are back at that level. Why is this important? Why is this relevant, you may say? Well, I want to show you guys exactly what happened at this time period, okay? Last time we hit that peak, which that's going to be right here, okay? NVIDIA formed a bearish divergence for over 2 years, okay? Now, bearish divergence is normally a bearish signal, obviously, right? It's where price action is making higher highs, but the RSI is making lower highs, and it's an indicator you could see some type of bearish activity, right? And sure enough, eventually the bearish divergence played out, and NVIDIA had a whopping 57.82% crash. Now, why is this relevant to right now? Well, because we are at this point here currently. And let's take a look from the highs, okay, of that weekly close to the peak, all right? NVIDIA went up a whopping 367%, guys. I mean, literally 3x, okay? It's just amazing over that, right? And with all of the AI hype right now, okay, I've been mentioning that AI is the new bubble forming in the market right now, and we don't know when that bubble is going to pop, okay? Eventually, the AI bubble will pop, but for right now, people have no idea how to evaluate AI and how it will truly impact the world in the future. It's all speculation right now, okay? No matter what anybody tells you, it's pure speculation. And FOMO is just going to drive people into it more and more and more. And NVIDIA, I can definitely see it repeating this where it goes on a 367% rally in the next 2 to 3 years. Okay. NVIDIA right now is at about $400, and that would put it over $1,000 by 2025. Okay. Now, that's a bold prediction, but I also see this happening. Okay. There's a lot of technical analysis that I do, and I see that to me, it looks like we're in a much larger secular bull market. Okay. And we're going to have in the S&P 500, we're going to continue rallying till 2020, till 2035, but we're going to have some small bear markets in between. Okay. Just like what we had in 2022. Right. We had a 20% decline on the S&P 500. And it seemed a lot more brutal to a lot of people, especially on YouTube, because most of their stocks they were invested in were things like Palantir or Kathy Wood stocks or growth stocks. And a lot of those stocks got completely decimated 60, 70, 80, 90%. So, it felt a lot worse than what it was when you look at the market as a whole in the S&P 500. So, I think that, the chance for the next bear market is going to be closer towards 2025, maybe late 2024. And, I think that NVIDIA can very possibly repeat this pattern right here, okay? Because this is where we're at currently on the technicals, all right? And we see what happened is the RSI continued to lose strength throughout that entire time period. And what happened on our weekly chart? We just continued to go up, continue to go up. We had these significant pullbacks many times throughout the time period, but if you just held throughout that time, you would be up about 367% before the whopping 57.82% correction, right? Where it gave up literally years of gains in a huge in an extremely short period of time, right? From October basically to January, 3 months, it gave up years of gains, right? In a very, very quick amount of time. All right. So if you zoom in here on the daily chart, okay, there's different types of gaps. All right. And I won't dive too deep into it, but if you take a look here, okay, there's things known as a runaway gap and also a breakaway gap. Now there's exhaustion gaps where the gaps come down and fill, okay, and there's common gaps where the gaps come down and fill. And look at the gaps that we're getting right here, guys. I mean, they look exactly like breakaway gaps and they look exactly like runaway gaps, okay? Where they're creating these huge gaps off of earnings and we're breaking away, we're running away every time that we have earnings. We continue to just push higher, right? And those are bullish gaps that are going to push up higher. And it's very possible, okay, through this AI bubble that we're forming right now, that every time NVIDIA reports earnings, and the more they mention AI and the more they mention their data centers, we could continue to see breakaway and runaway gaps form almost every time off of NVIDIA based on their earnings. Now, that doesn't have to happen, okay? Let them miss expectations once, let them miss expectations twice, and we could start seeing gaps down, okay? That's very possible. But right now, with basically the price point that they're selling these AI chips at is just insanely expensive. All right. And basically everyone is chasing AI right now. And NVIDIA makes the best AI chips. It's just that simple. There's going to be some competition that's going to happen. AMD is working on some very competitive AI chips right now. But, at the end of the day, NVIDIA is the powerhouse, and they're the ones that are leaps and bounds above everyone else. So if you guys enjoyed those charts, you can always email me for a one-on-one Zoom coaching session, okay? I do lots of technical analysis. I'm a very technical analysis-based trader, right? But I do like to look at the fundamentals as well. Oftentimes, people look at fundamentals with the wrong state of mind, and fundamentals can keep you bearish because they'll keep you from buying into a company, right? If you look at NVIDIA's price to sales ratio, if you look at their price to earnings ratio, it's astronomical, right? Nobody would invest in NVIDIA based on typical fundamental analysis. So I do like to do a lot of technical analysis to give myself a different perspective as well as fundamental analysis as well. And I like to combine a little bit of them together and maybe do some fundamental analysis that isn't so typical, right? So let's go ahead and dive into that. Before we do, I just want to mention today's sponsor, Simply Wall Street. Okay, they have a really great platform to actually do some fundamental analysis on. If you guys are not a pro and you can't do your own fundamental analysis, they do it all for you. You can look up your favorite stock, look up a stock that you've been wanting to buy for a long time, and maybe you want to see if it's overvalued or undervalued. Simply Wall Street is going to be a great platform, and you guys can get a 14-day free trial as well as up to 40% off for the first 100 people to join. And don't worry, we're not at 98 people. There's only a few people that have joined so far since I got the membership. So, you'll be able to get that 40% off discount. Now, amid the generative artificial intelligence frenzy, the investment community has been going wild over Nvidia, right? And their dominant market share in the AI chip space. Amid rising competitors striving to build their own AI chips to try and eat into Nvidia's market share, bulls emphasize that it's not just the superior performance that helped build Nvidia's moat, but it is also the CUDA software package that is specifically optimized for Nvidia's chips that solidify its moat. However, this is just the tip of the iceberg. NVIDIA benefits from multiple network effects across its suite of data center solutions, while competitors strive to build their own AI chips to compete with the tech giant. NVIDIA is increasingly focused on data center as a product, bolstering the bull case for the stock. And if you look at their full stack problem, they've got a full stack challenge. So semiconductor companies that want to effectively compete with Nvidia would not only need to build a comparable AI chip, but also build out a commensurate software ecosystem around the chip that helps speed up the application development process for developers. Nvidia has indeed developed a strong ecosystem around CUDA, or Computer Unified Device Architecture, including a large developer community, third-party software and hardware vendors, and academic institutions. This ecosystem incurs a virtuous cycle whereby the more people use Suda, the more third-party developers and other partners are incentivized to support it by writing even more programs for NVIDIA's GPUs, which in turn strengthens the ecosystem further. Now, most investors are aware of this moat factor by now. However, this is just the tip of the iceberg, as NVIDIA's moat in the data center industry extends far beyond its superior AI chip and CUDA software package. While competitors are trying to build competing AI chips and accompanying software packages, the CEO is focusing on the grander opportunity, which is data center as a product. Now, on the Q1 2024 earnings call, the CEO mentioned that it's been known for some time, and you've heard me talk about it, that accelerated computing is a full stack problem, but it's full stack challenge. But if you could successfully do it in a large number of application domains that's taken us 15 years, it's sufficient that almost the entire data center's major applications could be accelerated. You could reduce the amount of energy consumed and the amount of cost for our data center substantially by an order of magnitude. It costs a lot of money to do it because you have to do all the software and everything, and you have to build all the systems and so on and so forth. But we've been at it for 15 years. Now, he also talks about accelerated computing being a full stack problem and a full stack challenge. But what does he mean by that? A stack is basically a collection of technologies, including the hardware components like GPUs and smart NICs, and software components like libraries and frameworks that work together to deliver the desired functionality. When he says that accelerated computing is both a full stack problem and a full stack challenge, he's referring to the fact that it involves multiple layers of technology and that solutions are required at each of these levels, both individually and aggregately. Now, we'll dive a little bit further. So when he says that accelerated computing is a full stack problem, he means that it requires solutions at every level of the computing stack. It's not just about developing faster hardware, but it also involves optimizing software, designing programming frameworks that are able to optimally utilize the power of the different hardware components. And he simultaneously refers to it as a full stack challenge, whereby he is addressing the complexities incurred in maximizing the performance of accelerated computing holistically, with each level of the stack working efficiently together. All of these separate hardware components and their accompanying software components need to be effectively integrated together for optimal performance for the data center as a whole. Networking solutions play a crucial role in integrating the various layers of the stack in accelerated computing, enabling efficient data transfer and communication between the various components within the data center infrastructure. As per NVIDIA's latest 10K filing, networking solutions include Infiniband and Ethernet network adapters and switchers, related software, and cables. This has enabled us to architect end-to-end center-scale computing platforms that can interconnect thousands of compute nodes with high-performance networking. While historically the server was the unit of computing, as AI and HPC workloads have become extremely large, spanning thousands of compute nodes, the data center has become the new unit of computing, with networking as an integral part. Now, amid the generative AI revolution, the Infiniband networking technology obtained through Mellanox acquisition in 2020 that will be in ultra high demand as data center operators redesign their data centers to be apt for the era of AI. As CEO of NVIDIA proclaimed on the call, in networking, we saw strong demand at both CSPs and enterprise customers for generative AI and accelerated computing, which require high-performance networking like NVIDIA's Mellanox network platforms. As generative AI applications grow in size and complexity, high-performance networks become essential for delivering accelerated computing at data center scale to meet the enormous demand of both training and inferencing. Our 400 gig Quantum 2 InfiniBand platform is the gold standard for AI dedicated infrastructure, with broad adoption across major cloud and consumer internet platforms such as such as Microsoft Azure. Now, InfiniBand had a record quarter. We're going to have a giant record year. Emphasize real quick, InfiniBand had a record quarter. We're going to have a giant record year. So, we just got through the first quarter earnings results. Okay. If they're going to have a giant record year, this is what I mean, guys. We could continue to see these crazy breakaway and runaway gaps that I showed you guys on the technical analysis charts. Now, Infiniband has a really NVIDIA's Quantum Infiniband has an exceptional roadmap. It's going to be really incredible, but the two networks are very different. Infiniband is designed for an AI factory, if you will. The difference between Infiniband and Ethernet could be 15-20% in overall throughput. And if you spent $500 billion in an infrastructure and the difference is 10 to 20% and it's 100 million, Infiniband is basically free. That's the reason why people use it. Infiniband is effectively free. The difference in data center throughput is just, it's too great to ignore. Therefore, putting the superiority of its AI chip aside for a moment, networking technologies like InfiniBand also play a major role in sustaining NVIDIA's data center moat. Essentially, NVIDIA's InfiniBand integrates the various components of the data center so efficiently, delivering outstanding results in terms of rapid data transfer and low latency connections that the resulting improvement of 20% data center throughput dwarfs the cost of the InfiniBand. This offers two advantages. Firstly, the incredible cost efficiencies of NVIDIA's data center solutions make it increasingly difficult for competitors to penetrate NVIDIA's market share. Secondly, as InfiniBand becomes better and better at delivering cost efficiencies in terms of data center throughput, it yields greater pricing power to NVIDIA, as data center customers don't mind paying higher prices for such solutions as long as it's easily covered by the resulting cost efficiencies. Digging a bit deeper into networking, NVIDIA offers various networking solutions to help optimize the performance of data centers. This includes the Smart Network Interface cards, which offload certain network-related tasks from the CPU, freeing up processing power for other tasks. Now, Smart NICs are designed to improve network performance, reduce latency, and enhance overall data center efficiency. These are accompanied by the NVIDIA Mellanox Software Development Kit, the SDK, and the Mellanox Messaging Accelerator MMA software. Developers can build upon MMA to optimize and enhance the performance of their applications and data center environments, and MMA provides a foundation for efficient messaging, message passing, and network communication, and developers can leverage these capabilities to further customize and tailor their applications according to their specific requirements. Now, networking solutions also include networking switches, which are devices that serve as central points for connecting and directing network traffic between the devices, servers, storage systems, and other components within the data center. These are accompanied by the NVIDIA Cumulus Linux software. The NVIDIA Cumulus Linux is a network operating system designed to run on open networking switches. It provides developers with a flexible and customizable platform to optimize and enhance the functionality of networking switches and data center environments. In terms of other data center hardware solutions, NVIDIA also offers the NVIDIA Bluefield data processing units, which are designed to accelerate a wide range of data processing tasks beyond what traditional CPUs and GPUs are capable of, including networking, storage, and security functions. In its latest annual report, NVIDIA states that the NVIDIA Bluefield DPU is supported by foundational data center infrastructure on a chip software, or DOCA. That lets developers build software-defined, hardware-accelerated networking, security, storage, and management applications for Bluefield DPUs. Partners supporting Bluefield include many of the top security, storage, and networking companies. We can optimize across the entire computing network and storage stack to deliver data center scale computing solutions. Bluefield DPUs and its accompanying software enhance the comprehensiveness of NVIDIA's data center solutions, bolstering its competitiveness in the market. Hence, while investors are hinged on the well-established CUDA software that is packaged that is optimized for NVIDIA's GPUs, NVIDIA is also winning from other network effects occurring simultaneously thanks to other software such as DOCA and MMA that optimize the components involved in building data centers. The CEO emphasized on the call, so nearly everybody who thinks about AI, they think about the chip, the accelerated chip, and in fact, it misses the whole point nearly completely. And I mentioned before that accelerated computing is about the stack, about the software and networking. Remember, we announced very on this networking stack called DLCA, and we have the acceleration library called Magnum IO. These two pieces of software are some of the crown jewels of our company. Nobody ever talks about it because it's hard to understand, but it makes it possible for us to connect tens of thousands of GPUs. Now, integrating all the data center components together for optimal holistic performance is a key attribute of NVIDIA's data center success. Data center customers interested in NVIDIA's industry-leading AI chips would subsequently also buy NVIDIA's other data center solutions for optimized performance through the deep integration benefits. This is what allows NVIDIA to offer such dropping sales forecasts of $11 billion for Q2 of 2023. And it's not just demand for AI chips, but also robust demand for all the other data center solutions. As the integrations continue to deepen, NVIDIA becomes increasingly better positioned to cross-sell adjacent data center solutions together, right? And so here's the risk to the NVIDIA bull case. AMD also offers a comprehensive suite of data center solutions and is striving to catch up to NVIDIA in the AI race. In Q1 of 2023, AMD saw nearly $1.3 billion in data center revenue, representing 24% of its total revenue. In comparison, NVIDIA's latest quarterly report for Q1 2024 revealed that the company made nearly $4.3 billion in data center revenue, contributing 60% to company-wide revenue. The recent announcement of AMD's rival AI chip, the MI300X, was underwhelming given the lack of performance specifications offered. AMD also failed to announce major customer partnerships for its new chip, which is testament to just how strong of a foothold NVIDIA has in this market. Nonetheless, witnessing NVIDIA race forward towards the grander opportunity of data center as a product, AMD has also been beefing up its own data center solutions by acquiring Pensando Systems Inc., all right, which was the acquisition was completed in May of 2022, which makes networking chips. Pensando's distributed services platform will expand AMD's data center product portfolio with a high-performance data processing unit and software stack that are already deployed at scale across cloud and enterprise customers, including Goldman Sachs, IBM Cloud, Microsoft Azure, and Oracle Cloud. AMD could indeed aggressively step up its M&A strategy to catch up to NVIDIA. After all, NVIDIA built up its own data center networking solutions through acquiring companies like Mellanox and Cumulus Networks. Given NVIDIA's existing dominance in the space, AMD could try to engage in price competition to allure data center customers into using its expanding suite of solutions. However, it will be difficult for AMD to challenge NVIDIA's dominance through price competition, given just how well NVIDIA has mastered the architecture of data centers through driving deep integrations across data center infrastructure. And it is these intricate integration benefits and the resulting cost savings that ultimately underpin NVIDIA's data center moat, given the CEO's long-standing approach towards accelerated computing as a full-stack problem and a full-stack challenge. Consequently, NVIDIA is strongly positioned to counter competitive threats, as their CEO affirmed. We're mindful of competition all the time, and we get competition all the time. But NVIDIA's value proposition at the core is we are the lowest cost solution. We're the lowest cost, or we're the lowest TCO, which is total cost of ownership solution. And the reason for that is because accelerated computing is two things that I talk about often, which is it's a full stack problem, it's a full stack challenge. You have to engineer all of the software and all the libraries and all the algorithms, integrated them into and optimize the frameworks and optimize it for the architecture of not just one chip, but the architecture of an entire data center all the way into the frameworks, all the way into the models. AMD will inevitably also strive to drive down TCO for data center customers through deep integrations across its suite of solutions, but it will be an uphill battle. Nonetheless, AMD's intensifying encroachment into NVIDIA's space could potentially undermine its pricing power over time, impacting NVIDIA's stock price, which is pricing in vigorous pricing power. Now, that being said, NVIDIA is certainly not going to stand while AMD spreads to catch up. NVIDIA will continue to enhance the cost efficiencies and performance of its own solutions on an aggregate basis to sustain its lead. On top of that, the multiple network effects running simultaneously across NVIDIA's key data center solutions erect strong ecosystems around its products, steepening the uphill battle for AMD. So is NVIDIA stock a buy? NVIDIA's data center moat extends beyond its superior AI chip and CUDA software package. While competitors are trying to build competing AI chips and accompanying software packages, the CEO of AMD is focusing on the grander opportunity, which is data center as a product. The company's deep integration of data center components such as smart NICs, DPUs, and networking switches bolsters its competitiveness and cross-selling opportunities. While AMD is expanding its data center solutions and could engage in price competition, NVIDIA's focuses on full-stack problem solving and cost efficiency makes it difficult for competitors to challenge its dominance. NVIDIA's powerful moat solidifies the bull case for the stock, making it a buy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, okay? And if you did, all right, remember, you guys can always email me at zackleytrades@gmail.com for a one-on-one coaching session. We can do a one-on-one personal Zoom session, go over whatever you would like to discuss. All right, don't forget to check out today's sponsor, Simply Wall Street. Feel free to dive into the fundamentals of AMD or Nvidia via the Simply Wall Street platform and see which one do you guys think is a better value at its current given prices, and which one you think has more potential for gains in the long run. Okay, it's a really great platform. I've used it for a while. Glad to have them as a sponsor. You guys can get a 14-day free trial and up to 40% off for the first 100 people to join using the link in the description or the comment, pinned comment down below.